lovely tender lemon rolls.
Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for yoyomax12.
Hello everyone, starting off with a small saucepan over medium heat. Inside there you will place 1/3 of a cup of butter cubed, 1/4 cup of water, and 1/2 cup of sour cream. And you're going to heat this over medium heat until that butter is melted and the temperature reaches between 120 and 130 degrees Fahrenheit. In a large mixing bowl, place 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/3 of a cup of white granulated sugar, and a tablespoon of active dry yeast. I use the quick rise yeast, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of grated lemon zest. Blend that together, and then you're going to pour in that heated yogurt, butter, and water mixture. Pour it right in there. I started off by mixing this with a paddle attachment, and you're going to mix this on medium speed for about 2 minutes. Now you're going to add in 2 eggs, an additional 1/2 cup of flour, and you're going to continue to beat this for 2 minutes. Now at this point I changed from the paddle attachment to the hook attachment, and now you need to beat in enough of that remaining flour, because we did start off with 3 cups, to get a soft dough. And I added about another 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of flour to get that soft dough, and I'll show you what it ended up looking like. The dough will start to congregate in the center of the bowl, and it'll still appear quite sticky. So when you get to this point, you know you can stop. Then I sprinkled additional flour on the countertop, and as you can see, that's what I had left from the 3 cups. So that's about 1/2 cup of flour left, maybe a little under 1/2 cup. Sprinkle some on the counter, and then you're going to turn out that dough, and you're going to knead this dough until it's smooth and elastic, adding little bits of flour just to keep it from sticking to the countertop. And you're going to knead it for about 6 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes. And I almost used up the entire 3 cups. I probably had about 1/8 of a cup left. So once the dough is nice and smooth and elastic, you're going to grease up a bowl, place the dough ball in there, give it a turn so that all the sides are covered with a little bit of oil. And as you can see, it was already greasy because I forgot to turn the camera on, so I had to kind of recreate the event. Cover it with some plastic wrap, put it in a nice warm place to rise until doubled. And that's going to take about an hour, hour and a half, depending on how warm your kitchen is. So once the dough is risen and is doubled in size, as you can see here, punch it down to remove all that excess air. And then you're going to turn it onto your floured countertop, and just using your fingers, spread it out until it forms a rectangle that's 12 inches by 18 inches, approximately. Then you're going to spread 3/4 of a cup of lemon curd over the top. I couldn't find lemon curd anywhere, so I used this Lemon Lovers lemon spread. Spread out the topping to about an inch or so from the edges of the dough rectangle. And I found this lemon spread to be not all that lemony, really, to my liking. So I added a little bit more of grated lemon zest just to give it a little extra kick of lemon flavor. Then you're going to roll it up jelly roll style, starting from the long side. Roll it all the way up, and then when you get to the end, you're going to seal up those edges and the ends by just pinching them together. Then you need to slice this and put it in a baking dish. So you're going to slice it about 2 to 2.5 inch slices, put them cut side down in a greased 9 by 13 inch baking dish. And this is a little bit of a challenge. It was really messy, really messy. I don't know if I put too much of that lemon spread. I had a little bit of a hard time with some of the pieces, but you know what? They look kind of messy now, but you'll see they actually turned out to be quite good. Now you will end up with 10 to 12 rolls, depending on how big you decide to make them. Once they're all in the pan, cover it with plastic wrap, put it in a warm place to rise until doubled, and the second rising takes a lot less time. It takes about 1/2 hour. There they are, risen till doubled. As you can see, they fill up the entire pan with no spaces left. And then at this point, you can sprinkle on some nuts if you like, whatever nuts you want. I sprinkled on a little bit of crushed almonds, but you can certainly use pecans or walnuts. Then you're going to bake this at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until golden brown. While it's baking, you can make up the glaze. That's a half a teaspoon of lemon zest. Adding to that a half a cup of confectioner's sugar, and then you're going to add in a teaspoon of water and a teaspoon of lemon juice. Stir it together, and if you find that it's a little bit too thick, all you have to do is add in a couple of drops of water or lemon juice until you get the texture and the thickness that you'd like. Take the rolls out of the oven, let them sit for about 10 minutes or so, and then drizzle on the glaze. And I love glaze on rolls, and I probably would double this glaze recipe the next time I make these. These things are absolutely delicious. The lemon flavor is amazing. And you know what? They call these tender lemon rolls for a reason. They are like little pillowy bread clouds. They are so tender. And they are, of course, at their best when they're just warm out of the oven. I think these would make an amazing breakfast roll because they're not super sweet. I hope you give these a try because these will be made again in my household for sure. Thanks for watching. I have a couple of other breakfast roll type videos on my channel, including the one you're watching right now. This is for my cinnamon bun apple twists, and these are a family favorite. I've made this one dozens of times over the years, and it's absolutely delicious. The video is a little bit old and maybe the quality isn't so great, but the recipe is fantastic. You can trust me on that. If you want to see this, click on your screen or look for the link in the description box. I'll also have a recipe in the description box for sticky pecan rolls, which are also very good. See you next time. Bye-bye.